You're watching ABC10 Plus Tonight.
Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Thomas. You're watching ABC10 Plus Tonight. Governor Gavin Newsom just announced a new multi-million-dollar plan to tackle the homeless crisis. And days ahead of Election Day, we're heading to vote centers to learn more about the vote counting process. Then the weather team is looking at possible rain and snow across the region, how it could impact your Halloween plans. ABC10 Plus Tonight starts now.
The effort to end homelessness continues tonight as Governor Gavin Newsom announced more than $827 million in new state investments to help create housing and also support those experiencing homelessness. ABC 10's Jeannie Nguyen joins us in studio tonight to explain what this means for the greater Sacramento region.
Alex, that $827 million will be spread across various counties and cities, including Sacramento, Placer, and the Yolo County regions. Now, the governor focused on accountability and transparency today, and lawmakers tell ABC 10 they're going to hold him to that.
We announce the distribution of $827 million to 37 jurisdictions throughout the state of California.
On Tuesday, Governor Gavin Newsom announced new grants as part of the state's Homeless Housing and Assistance Prevention Program, or HAP, providing communities with support by creating permanent housing, rental and move-in assistance, and more.
We also now have a new template that we put out as it relates to prioritization of encampments, health and safety, 48-hour notification minimum, and expectations as it relates to service connections.
The Sacramento region will receive $53.21 million, with San Joaquin and Stanislaus County regions getting $14 million and $5.89 million, respectively. But there are conditions to the money.
Expectation and reporting that would no longer be put at a quarterly or biannual basis, but at a monthly basis. An expectation that the rules and regulations that are well established in contract templates throughout this state as it relates to being in compliance with state rules, housing rules.
Back in April, an audit showed the state spent nearly $24 billion on homelessness and housing over a 5-year period, but lacked data on its effectiveness. Republican Senator Roger Nilo was part of the bipartisan effort to get the audit done.
Hopefully, he has found the value of accountability, but if past is prologue, at this point, all it is words.
While Senator Nilo credits the state for getting people housed, he believes the long-term solution is not housing.
They don't seem to be doing a good job at addressing why people became homeless in the first place, addressing those issues through counseling or otherwise, and getting them to self-sufficiency. From dependency to self-sufficiency.
In line with the announcement, the governor believes housing and supportive services will solve the homelessness crisis.
Now, the governor did add today that Sacramento did see a reduction in the unsheltered population last year. This is the 5th round of this type of funding, with the 6th round approved in June, which will be an additional $1 billion to come.
Every election year, it's a fight to try and get volunteers for polling places.
ABC 10's Devin Truby checked in with local election offices today. So, Devin, what are some of the challenges they're facing now?
Well, Laura, half of the counties we spoke with said voter turnout is currently lower than the numbers that they saw for the same time in 2020. But each county has something unique to offer voters this year to help make sure everyone casts their vote.
It's 1 week until Election Day, and election security is top of mind for voters. Solano County Registrar says for the past 6 months, they've been receiving security briefings from the FBI and Secretary of State, analyzing election issues in other states and coming up with solutions. Recent ballot box fires in the Pacific Northwest to issues with mail thefts. That's why in Solano County, no ballot box is ever left alone.
They're always with people. Your ballots are picked up by us every day to minimize that window if there was some disruption.
Solano County also has a ballot courier service, so if you're worried about getting a ballot in time or have experienced mail theft, couriers can help.
Also can deliver a ballot to a city clerk's office so that a voter could pick it up the next day.
While Solano and Sutter County don't have live streams available, both counties give tours of the election centers during business hours and have viewing areas for people to watch the process. Sutter County also has a new resource this year.
It's available in 85 languages. We would speak to it in English, and then it would automatically translate both in a written form and in an audible form.
This year, increasing security and transparency, Placer County has begun live streaming their election office. You're looking at it now. They're also the only county of the 4 to report higher turnout than 2020 so far. They attribute that to their new process, Sign, Scan, Go.
Bring in their vote by mail ballot to a vote center. We check to make sure that they haven't voted anywhere else in the state. If they haven't, they can just take that ballot out of their vote by mail ballot envelope and put it right into the scanner while they're there. They get to see their ballot counted right in front of them.
Yolo County now has more screens in their office for people to come see the process firsthand, especially ballots with inconsistencies that are stopped by the machine.
Recently put in some large screens in our office where we're actually doing adjudication of the ballot. So if there's uncertainty about what the intent of the voter is, we have a process where 2 individuals are going through and evaluating that, and we've attached that process onto some larger screens so folks can review it and see what we're doing.
In regards to turnout, Sutter and Solano County say they're seeing lower numbers than 2020. Placer County has higher numbers, and Yolo County says, well, they're currently above the state average. Now, Yuba County's election office was doing a training today, so unfortunately weren't able to connect with them. And Nevada County told ABC 10 they're expecting counting to be slower this year due to a small misprint that's going to slow them down, Laura.
All right, Deb and Truby, thank you. ABC 10 wants to make sure you have all the information you need to make an informed decision. On ABC 10 Plus, you can find a section titled Your Voice, Your Vote under the News tab. It has election resources and proposition explainers. The app is free wherever you get your streaming apps, including Roku and Amazon Fire TV.
Welcome to the place your ballot goes. Sometimes our cameras get special access to give you a peek behind the curtain, but this isn't that. You can come on down here yourself.
Think of it like an adult field trip. You could go out, learn something new, find out what happens to your ballot after you've cast it. We're constantly trying to educate voters on what happens with their ballot. There's a lot of information out there. There's a ton of misinformation out there.
To debunk the myths and ease concerns, the county opens up the vote count center to public tours. Our tour wasn't very full. It was just us and a state government analyst watching these ballots come in.
Our job is election integrity, and we're making sure every voter only gets to vote once.
To keep your votes secret and safe, ballots have to be handled by 2 people minimum. Workers take the ballots to a special room in back.
So this is our industrial mail sorter. It can scan about 30,000 to 40,000 mail pieces per hour. So in a given election, depending on the turnout, we can expect to scan about 1.5 million scans through this machine. So we keep her very busy.
The ballots shoot through this machine twice. First, to scan your signature on the outside of the envelope so the election workers can verify it.
All of our permanent staff are trained by a retired forensic FBI document examiner annually, so we all receive that training. And then we train our temporary staff in the things that they're looking for.
The workers typically reject a little more than 1% of the signatures, and the county contacts those voters to help them verify. Ballots with good signatures on the envelopes go back to the machine for sorting. We have so many cities, fire districts, school districts, and the like in Sacramento County, they have to print 185 different versions of the ballot.
Because my next door neighbor and I have the same ballot, but mom across town has a different ballot than I do.
Yep. Exactly.
The machine sorts and bundles those different versions together.
Everything stays by voting precinct. So this machine is incredibly important, and if we didn't have this machine, there's really no way we'd be able to do this by hand.
Election workers use another machine to help pluck the ballots out. Your name and signature stay on the envelope. Once the envelope's gone, there's no way to tell who any ballot belongs to.
Even in our system in the office, we don't know how people voted, so we never know that.
With the envelopes gone...
So this is our ballot tabulation room. This is the most secure room in this building.
The tour doesn't go in that room. We only get to look through the windows.
Nothing's connected to the internet. It's never connected to any other network.
The security is to protect the integrity of the results, but also to keep election results from leaking early. People started sending their ballots in early October, but by law, the results aren't allowed to be added up until the polls close on election night.
So even though we start scanning maybe a week or so before, we don't know how any race is looking. We don't know what the results are.
Yeah, like the information in these machines is actually prized information,
Yes.
right?
So even we cannot look at that. We can't run it, we can't know. So the very first time that's run is about 8:15 on election night when we report for the first time.
You can help by voting early. More early votes means more results already loaded when the polls close, means clearer results on election night.
Also, just don't drink coffee near your ballot.
Oh yeah, and don't mess up your ballot. If you spill on it or you make weird marks other than clearly bubbling in your vote, a 2-person team has to fill out a whole new clean ballot by hand and send it back for your vote to be counted. If you want to see all this, come on down. The county will keep offering 4 tours a week, even in the weeks after Election Day, while the results are audited and certified. Brandon Rittiman, ABC 10 News.
Now, election offices across the country, including here in California, they're on high alert. Earlier this year, To The Point sat down with the Yolo County Election Office, where the Registrar of Voters announced some remodeling ahead of the November 2024 presidential election. So tonight, I take you inside to look at some of those changes and how they're keeping their staff safe. Local election offices.
Since the 2020 election, we have seen an unprecedented spike in threats against the public servants who do administer our elections.
Have become targets.
Votes get counted in a fair and just way.
What I've seen is threats to election workers, threats to facilities.
And local offices are increasing transparency for voters, like in San Joaquin County.
We have surveillance cameras on all of our 25 drop boxes throughout the county.
In Yolo County, have you ever been threatened or harassed while doing your job?
Folks that have been pretty aggressive in terms of their comments towards either myself or even family members, so it's unfortunate.
Jesse Salinas, the Registrar of Voters for the Yolo County Elections Office, told us back in February they were remodeling the election office to keep staff safe.
So we're on high alert, and that's true across the state. You see registrars that are very concerned. We're having conversations at a statewide level. What can we do to keep the offices and all of our staff and the poll workers as safe as possible during this climate? So we're actually going to have it more enclosed.
Recently, we went back to see the remodeling. We're back again. It's election season. Good to see you again.
Good to see you as well. Welcome.
The front looks so much different than it did last time we were here.
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? We have plexiglass that we've added, a new countertop that's much more inviting, and even the lobby is opened up quite a bit.
The swing door now secure.
And now you can see we actually have a secure door that is completely locked up, and you have to actually have a badge.
The front counter enclosed.
So prior to this plexiglass, there was just an opening, and there was security concerns that had been brought up not only throughout California, but nationwide. And so we knew that staff wanted to feel more secure than they were.
There's even been a few changes in the back.
There used to be a wall along this section here, and it actually enclosed this area. We knocked that wall down to be able to make sure it was more open and inviting for viewers who want to come and watch our process.
Part of their preparation for any election office includes working alongside local law enforcement, the FBI, Homeland Security, and a number of agencies statewide.
We've got an infrastructure in place to make sure that we're ready.
And how has the staff been with all of these changes? Have they been receptive?
Actually, they were pretty excited about it. We made sure that their health and well-being and safety was a primary concern for us, and we wanted them to go into this election having confidence that we were taking care of them and that we were doing everything possible to make sure that they were safe and secure.
His message for voters during this election.
Probably the most critical thing, I think, is that it is going to be a close election. Also, I ask people to be patient because the certification won't actually take place any sooner than December 3rd. December 3rd is the earliest you'll be able to actually certify the election. So that is a key date that I want folks to keep in mind. So there is a process. Be patient with your registrars as they go through the process.
The mother of a 4-year-old boy who shot himself in South Sacramento made her first court appearance today.
26-year-old Letitia Walker was arrested and booked on numerous charges Friday after police responded to the shooting in a shopping center on Mack Road. ABC 10's Roxanne Elias joins us live now. Roxanne, did you hear from the mother today? What happened?
I did, Laura. Letitia Walker arrived here for her arraignment. She was not in custody. Before going into the courtroom, I did approach her and I asked her if there was anything she would want to share with me, but she asked me to go away. Now, this all started earlier last week in the parking lot of a South Sacramento shopping center on Friday when police say Letitia Walker's 4-year-old son shot himself. Sacramento police have not said if the mother left the child in the car alone or if she was with him during the incident. The child was taken to the hospital and Walker was arrested. Today in court, the judge denied cameras. Walker was appointed a public defender. She now faces several charges, including endangering life or health of a child, criminal storage of a firearm, and having a concealed firearm in the vehicle. As for her 4-year-old son, Sacramento police tell us he is in stable condition and is expected to recover. Back out here live, Walker's next court date is set for December 3rd at 8:30 in the morning here. Live in Sacramento, Roxanne Elias, ABC 10.
Well, that is good to hear that the boy is recovering. Please keep us posted. Roxanne Elias, thank you. Continuing our weather impact alert. Take a look at this video from the Alert California camera system. It's nice. It shows how in just 24 hours, the area around Martis Peak, north of Lake Tahoe, went from green to a dusting of white. This is at an elevation of more than 8,000 feet. And Monica is tracking even more snow and some rain. Gosh, these next few days are going to be really busy.
Okay, so let's talk about it, Monica, because, you know, we also have Halloween coming up. And so how is that going to impact all those costume plans? Huh?
It is like clockwork. I tell you, every year it feels like, here we go, we're tracking rain. The timing, I actually am seeing, is going to play out pretty nicely. This is our first widespread rain and snow event. That's why we have these weather impact alert days ahead. Possible travel issues, especially in the valley. You know, that oil's just sitting primed, ready to come to the surface with this rain. Outdoor decorations, might want to bring some of them in if they're more vulnerable to some rain or certainly any gusty winds that we have associated with the system coming in. Today, again, beautiful conditions. A little bit gusty from time to time, but overall sunny skies and pretty pleasant temperatures. That low pressure system, though, looming off the coast, and that's going to be due in tomorrow night through early Thursday. So I've got red up here on the entire board, but it's not going to be a complete washout. The alert is actually in effect Wednesday evening with our snow level about 5,500 feet. That's well below the passes. Now, the snow is going to continue into our Thursday, but the showers actually start to taper off for the valley. For Friday, evening rain once again, and it's heavier rain and snow. That'll last through early Saturday with travel delays that will continue in the Sierra through the afternoon. Here's a look at our Big Mountain backyard. Again, today, great day to get outdoors and enjoy the beautiful fall weather. Temperatures still holding in the 60s with our sunset not until 6:09. Still sunny in the Sierra at 40 degrees. Now we've got that first low moving in. That's going to hit us overnight Wednesday. You can see even at midnight on Thursday, that rain band is still just to the north, and it's a quick mover. By the morning commute, most of us are already done with the rain. Snow showers, though, linger into the afternoon forecast. So again, trick-or-treaters, just beware. Likely we're going to have some snow up there. And then we're back to Friday. This is the second wave to come through for the end of the week. Again, Friday night football looks okay right now, but then that band of rain primarily will hit us overnight through early Saturday. Snow lingers, though, for the Sierra. If you're traveling into the Sierra, I would just be prepared for a lot of delays and potential for chain controls. As far as the first wave, overnight Wednesday through Thursday, about 1/4 inch or so. That will pick up through the valley and the foothills. Second wave, much bigger. About 1 inch or so for the valley, about 1/2 inch for the foothills, and then we'll see that Sierra snow pile up as well. Now, these numbers are a little bit lower than what I'm seeing with some other models, so just be aware, could see upwards of about 1 to 1.5 feet of snow possible. Highs in the 40s tomorrow for the Sierra, 50s and 60s down low, with highs in the 60s along the coast and inland areas. So we're back to the cooler air that's working its way into the forecast. Look at the 5-day regional outlook for the mountains. We'll have a mix of rain and snow right through the beginning of the weekend outlook, and highs only in the 30s. 50s expected for the foothills, much different than what we saw last weekend. And for the coast, we've got areas of rain as well. So I know this looks a little weird. It's like half of red, half of blue, but to play it out, we wanted to be very specific. Late Wednesday, early Thursday, that's our alert time frame. So trick-or-treating in the valley should be okay. Friday night through Saturday morning, again, That's our weather impact alert. There's just so much going on that I wanted to be very clear on the bookends of when we're going to have the biggest impacts of the rain coming in for the valley.
Oh, I appreciate that. That's that's actually looking very clear because, as you were saying, this is all about the timing, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay, don't forget you can get more in-depth weather coverage on ABC 10 Plus. Monica has a closer look at that weather system that could bring showers on Halloween of all days, huh? Just look for that extended weather on the home screen. The app is free wherever you get your streaming apps, including Roku and Amazon Fire TV.
There's a world-renowned musician who lives in Elk Grove, and today he drops a new album.
We're talking about Neil Nayar. According to the Guinness Book of World Records, he has mastered more instruments than anyone else in the world. ABC10's Mark S. Allen is with him right now in Sacramento, where Neil is doing something really exciting today.
Yeah, you know, I'm a private person. I typically don't let you in my Granite Bay home, but I wanted you to check out my digs while I check out his new album, which, yes, it is vinyl medium. And no, this is not my home. This is a cool production studio where you could shoot a movie, a film, or a commercial. And this guy is one of the owners. Kellen, say hi.
Hey, everyone. How are you doing?
Kellen, in your former life, what did you used to do?
I actually used to be a news photographer for ABC10.
That's crazy. A year ago, you were over there. What is this place?
We are over at Imported Studios here in Sacramento.
Got it. That's where Neil happens to be shooting his music videos today. His album has dropped. Earlier I said CD, and someone said, all right, Grandpa, CD. Yes, he is actually putting out physical media. CD, vinyl, you name it. This is the guy. Guinness Book World Champion, Honda commercial. You've done it all, Neil. Now your album drops. How excited are you?
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm telling you, the people are going to love this album.
A little something for everybody, indigenous to your home country, and then also flavors from all over the world. In fact, what's the title of the album?
Yes, the title of the album is called Breaking Barriers and has all genres of music.
Got it. And why is it called Breaking Barriers?
Well, the reason it's called Breaking Barriers is because I'm trying to break the barriers of the language. Even though we cannot connect with each culture in a language, but we can connect their culture through music.
Super awesome. He has mastered 107, thus the Guinness Book of World Records. Like, what is it you haven't done? What do you want to do next?
I think next would be to, act in films and maybe compose music for big Hollywood films.
That's awesome. Great talking to you as always. Enough talking. Ready to break off a sample of your album?
Let's do it!
All right, it's the debut solo album, Neil Nayar, Elk Grove's Pride and Joy, Breaking Barriers, and Hit It!
Someone once said to me to live your life remembering. So I played to be set free, free from all reality. I mean, don't be afraid to ride. One chance to dream, one chance to fly. If you're in harmony, then join me in this melody. I'm going to Hollywood. Life never felt so good.
Back to you.
And life is going.
It sounds like something that would be on a soundtrack to a movie.
Nice. He not only plays like all those instruments, but his vocals.
107.
He's hitting the vocals too. So I like that he opened up the sitar with a little Ravi Shankar tribute going on there. All right, Mark and Neil, thank you so much. All that going on right now as we speak.
Thanks for watching ABC 10 Plus tonight. We're here 24/7 on the free ABC 10 Plus app. You can get your news and weather anytime, anywhere. I'm Chris Thomas. We'll see you next time.
Weekday mornings on ABC 10.
I know what we're doing.
We're getting you ready.
Oh, you're going to know first.
About the breaking news that affects you.
What happened overnight right here in Northern California?
And across America.
Plus my 10-day forecast helping you plan and keeping you safe.
That's how we do mornings.
So you're ready to take on the day. ABC 10 Morning News.
And Good Morning America.
Right here on ABC 10.
See you weekday mornings starting at 5.